A woman walking home. A city shrouded in the quiet anxiety of a pandemic. A predator hiding in plain sight. His authority a weapon, his intentions monstrous. This is not a fictional thriller. It is the chilling reality of Sarah Everard. A story that sent a seismic shockwave of grief and anger across the globe, forcing a painful reckoning with women's safety and the integrity of those sworn to protect them. Remember to comment, like, share, and subscribe for future episodes of the Calendar of Crime. On the evening of March 3rd, 2021, 33-year-old marketing executive Sarah Everard was making a journey she had made countless times before. After visiting a friend, she began the 50-minute walk back to her home in Brixton Hill. Streets were quieter than usual due to COVID-19 lockdown. It was a route she knew well, a simple act of returning home that should have been unremarkable. As Sarah walked, she was on the phone, making plans for the following day. The call ended at 9:28 p.m. This was the last time anyone who knew her would hear her voice. It was here, in this ordinary residential street, that the ordinary collapsed into the unimaginable. A car pulled up, and a man stepped out. A serving police officer named Wayne Couzens. He approached Sarah, showing her his police warrant card. Under the guise of enforcing lockdown rules, he falsely claimed she was under arrest for breaching COVID regulations. He handcuffed her, placed her in the back of his rental car, and drove away. A passing couple witnessed the scene but saw nothing to raise alarm. They believed they were watching a legitimate police action unfold. In less than 5 minutes, Sarah Everard had vanished from the streets of London, abducted by a man who represented the very institution meant to ensure her safety. Couzens drove his captive to a remote area near Dover. There, in the isolation he had meticulously planned for, he subjected her to the ultimate betrayal and violence. In the early hours of March 4th, he raped and then strangled her with his police-issue belt. His actions were not a spontaneous crime of opportunity, but a premeditated plot. For at least a month, Couzens had been researching and preparing, hiring the car, and purchasing materials he would later use to conceal his horrific deeds. In the hours and days that followed, as a desperate search for Sarah was launched by her family and friends, Couzens went about his life with a chilling semblance of normality. He made calls to a veterinarian about his dog. He even took his own family on an outing, to the very woods where he would later dispose of Sarah's body. He reported in sick to work, a calculated move to cover his tracks. As the investigation into Sarah's disappearance intensified, the search gripped the nation. Sarah's face was everywhere, her name a symbol of a fear that every woman knows intimately. The public's hope for her safe return turned to horror when, on March 10th, human remains were discovered in a woodland stream in Ashford, Kent, just meters from land that Couzens owned. The body had been burned inside a refrigerator before being discarded. Dental records confirmed the worst. It was Sarah, the man who had sworn an oath to protect the public, was arrested on March 9th. Initially, he fabricated a story about being coerced by an Eastern European gang, a desperate lie that quickly unraveled. Faced with irrefutable evidence, Wayne Couzens eventually pleaded guilty to the kidnap, rape, and murder of Sarah Everard. On September 30th, 2021, he was sentenced to a whole life order, meaning he will die in prison. The court heard the devastating impact of his crimes on Sarah's family. Her mother, Susan, spoke of being tormented by the thought of her daughter's final moments. Her father, Jeremy, of the unfillable chasm left in their lives. The judge described Couzens' actions as a grotesque misuse of a police officer's role, a betrayal that had eroded public trust in the police. The murder of Sarah Everard became a watershed moment. It ignited a global conversation about male violence, the safety of women in public spaces, and the culture within policing. Vigils were held, most notably a large gathering on Clapham Common that ended in controversial clashes with police, further inflaming public anger. The phrase "reclaim these streets" became a rallying cry for change, a demand for a world where a woman can simply walk home. Thanks for watching. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe for future episodes from the Calendar of Crime.